Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Final Fantasy Wave X's video, and today we've got for you, we're going to explore Nora, a CN unit, originally on the Chinese version, now coming to global as like kind of like a monument to the CN version. Of course, they'll never acknowledge the CN version at all that it ever existed, but we know that it exists because I covered it on this channel. Anyways, let's look at her and see if she's worth pulling or not. So she has 150% lightning amp, also tied to the 300% store buff. She has a 35% fire and lightning and peril field with no cooldown or anything. It's just a normal ability you can use. So okay. 30 hit. You can only single cast this, but it is 30 hit. I'm assuming it's Ian Frame's chain ability, which is pretty neat because now you can, on basically any turn, you can just chain Ian Frames without needing to use her LB or anything. So that's actually something I've never seen before in a unit, at least in a long time. So that's pretty interesting. And let's go ahead and look at what else she has. 250% Beast and Machine Killer for herself. Those are separate. 250% Beast Killer, and then on a cooldown, 250% Machine Killer for herself. She has 150% for everybody else though, which is okay. She has a rechargeable, powerful bolting strike chain, and it's pretty strong modifier wise. It's very similar to all those other ones that have modifiers, and there's stacking modifiers on multiple hits. So that's how that is. She does have the 8 times cap, which makes that her EX3 a lot more valuable with that 200% extra normal and elemental chaining bonus thing. It actually becomes a lot more valuable with that 8 times cap or 100% cap. And if you're a new player to my channel, in which there is actually a lot of new people coming to the channel, people that are coming back to the game or people that are just joining the game, the 8 times cap basically means that all units start with 400% cap or a 400% chain mastery. Everybody starts with that no matter what. Some units get 100% extra to that in their passive. You'll see that you'll see 100% chain mastery or whatever you may call it. And then some units, mostly dual-wielding units, will have 600%, so they don't have to worry about that. Now, there's a new passive that came out with Rain, the new Rain that came out recently. They have an additional 200% added on. You can't get to that normally. You won't be able to add, another chain cap materia to make yourself 100%. You have to only get it currently through this passive that they have. So she does have 800% cap, which means she's going to be chaining a lot stronger than most other units will be able to do. Her SLB recharges the Bolting Strike chain, which is actually very interesting because she's not a premium unit, but she's getting a premium feature, which is mostly on premium units, so it's actually pretty interesting. And what's also really good is that she has her Fist and Peril, 40% Fist and Peril on her base LB. You don't have to worry about the SLB for that. So her chaining will be doing pretty good damage. On the other end, you want to equip 2 fists on her, so there's not very many fists that are magical in this game, so you're going to have to find one, or if you just want to dual wield her, both of her STMRs, I mean, you'd have to pull a lot to get 2 of them, but I guess it would be okay. You wouldn't get the flat stats, but it might be the high. I'm going to go ahead and do some discovery for you guys. So I'm looking at, I don't know if this was completely updated or not, but we do have Cacteria's Knuckle 200 magic, and we have the Umeric Gauntlet at 180 magic, Tiger Fang 160. That's getting a little too low. I know most people are probably gonna look at the Crescent Wish, but it only has 155, so probably just dual her own STMR, or if you have Cacteria's STMR, that would not be too bad too because it has killers on it. So those are your options. Anyways, moving into some cons, which I missed one of them, by the way. If I sound stuffy, it's because my allergies, as usual, are insane and unmanageable. But I missed one con here. I'm going to say it right away for you guys that are listening. She only has 1 store buff, if I remember correctly. And she only has access to 1 store buff, and that's it. And it's on the 150% lightning amp. So you don't want to use anything else after that. That's actually really bad. So she basically the same as Ayaka, where she has one very strong turn, and then after that, she's not going to be nearly as powerful anymore. And I already saw the spreadsheet. She's not even stronger than Dwayne, obviously, even with 8 times cap, because she only has access to 1 store buff. The strength of mages are that they have access to that store buff that where physical DPS does not have, usually. So that's a pretty big con, in my opinion. They did actually add on to her. I just checked, and they have on her SLB they have a stat buff, but don't really care too much about that. Anyways, 50 times mod buff for the LB, and only 100 times mod buff for the ability mods. I mean, that's not that good. She doesn't have any cooldown LB mods, so she's obviously not a huge LB mod chainer. She's just a chainer in general. Not very strong outside of Clash Wills. Definitely, that's true. And the biggest thing, very similar to Ununite, the Neo Vision Ununite, accuracy is extremely niche, and it's useful this Clash Wills, of course. She has a 200% accuracy buff for everybody, but will it be useful in the next Clash of Wills? Probably not. So if you're pulling only for the accuracy thing, it's probably not going to be useful at the next Clash of Wills. Just saying. And it's not very useful outside of Clash of Wills. Very rarely is it ever useful. It's just one of those small mechanics that isn't really touched upon all that much. Just saying. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and review her score. I think 8 out of 10 is more than fair. She has 40% Fist and Peril on her base LB, so you don't have to worry about the SLB. But only access to 1 store buff, and it's on on her Grandis or Magnus, whatever you want to call it, and then that's it. So she has 1 strong turn, and that's it. She barely supports. She has some imbues, but that's about it. I don't really see a whole lot of value in this character. I'm just being blunt. She does damage. She's decent. She's pretty strong for lightning teams, but if you didn't pull Zac, now you have to use her own leader skill. So, let me know in the comment section below if this is a hot take. Is this score too low, or do you think that she's as good as this score represents? I want to know your feedback in the comment section down below. Anyways, this time I did remember to make a slide for the vision card. So, 135 magic. Should be 140 at this point. The HP is whatever. I mean, you don't really care about HP on a mage all that much. Very rarely do you. Ace up his sleeve is just the 100% water amp. Of course, we all knew that, but I was just kind of hoping that was going to be 150 or maybe 125 or something at this point. 100%, whatever. It's just not that valuable. I don't think it's that valuable. I don't think you should be spending your lapis to get this vision card. Unless you're already pulling for Nora, then it's just an added bonus that you pull it for. But you're not pulling for this vision card just to pull for the vision card. I don't think it's that good. I think it's just okay. So, if you're wondering to chase the vision card, nah. It's not one of those vision cards we'll be remembering for a long time like Dazzling Demoness. I honestly feel like those days are long gone, where we have vision cards we talk about all the time. They're very far few between, and that's it. That's my take on the situation. Anyways, my voice is really dying, so I'm gonna get out of here. There is new drama. I say drama, quote unquote, because it's easier to understand when I say something is a drama. There's drama associated with counters now. Apparently, there was a notice about that recently. So, if you guys want me to talk about the counter situation, let me know in the comment section down below. If you do not, then I just won't. So, I want to see all your comments down below as always, and I hope to see you in the very next video as well. Appreciate ya. Peace.